Okay, so for this one, it will be on Ansay 103. Last time, I think we have discussed yung mating systems natin. So now we will be discussing on the selection ng mga farm animals naman natin or on the principles of selection. So basically, during our discussion on mating systems, nakita natin yung mga iba't ibang parang um, method or way in order to parang do yung mating or yung breeding itself from the crossbreeding, pure breeding. We also have discussed the rotational na mga terminal system, mga ganon. So, nakita doon na or natutunan doon na madami yung mga methods na hindi lang yung purely i-mate mo na lang itong animal na ito with any available na animal na nandun sa herd mo. Hindi ganun yung system for that. In order for us to actually improve yung breed, kailangan na we follow a certain pathway or we follow a certain method, kumbaga. And in order for those mating systems to become successful, kailangan na we need to select yung mga animals na i-mate natin. So, kumbaga, wala ring silbi kasi na alam natin yung mga different mating systems, alam natin yung mga function, alam nating gawin yung mga mating system na yun, pero hindi naman natin sineselect yung mga animals that are that we put into those mating system. So, kailangan na we still need to select them, kumbaga. So, diyan papasok yung mga selection process or itong dito papasok yung discussion natin ng principles of selection. So, when it comes to the selection of farm animals kasi, it involves choosing animals with syempre, common sense na those that are desirable. Yung desirable yung traits. Kumbaga, kung ano yung based sa knowledge ng isang farmer and based doon sa production system na involve yung farmer, iba-iba din kasi yung parang desirable traits, kumbaga. Like for example, if the farmer is into um, the production ng kumbaga ng milk, di kailangan yung traits na nakikita niya sa isang cow or isang buffalo should be yung mataas yung production ng milk. So, hindi necessary pero meron din naman relationship pero hindi necessary na yung titignan ng isang dairy farmer is yung fat or leanness ng muscle ng isang cow. Kasi nga, yung focus naman niya is sa milk. Okay? So, yung sinasabi ko lang or yung point ko lang dito is that depende doon sa farmer mismo and depending on the production system that the farmer is involved in, um, nakadepende doon yung kung ano yung definition niya ng desirable. Kung anong trait yung desirable para sa kanya. Okay? So, basta yung laging tatandaan, you choose the animal with desirable traits that your main goal is to improve the overall productivity ng animal as well as yung health niya or even yung adaptability doon sa lifestyle. So, kung makikita dito, if you want like for example, you are in the breeding business ng mga baboy. So kailangan alam mo yung structure, alam mo yung kung ano yung mga abnormal na structure sa isang baboy, yun yung hindi mo pipiliin. Ano ba doon yung malnourished, ano ba doon yung obese, so hindi naman dapat na yun yung piliin mo. Okay? So, kailangan na you need to look into its desirable traits, kumbaga. So, yan. Um, Again, the goal of selection is to enhance yung characteristics such as yung if you're into the growing business, yung growth rate niya. If you're into the breeding business, then yung fertility rate niya. Pag nasa dairy industry ka, your milk production. So it can also be your meat quality or your disease resistance and even temperament in successive generation. So ang ibig ko lang sabihin dito is that kailangan na i-improve mo. So, wala ring silbi kasi yung selection na ginagawa mo na nagpumipili ka lang without actually having the goal of improving it. So what's the point of selection if hindi mo naman i-improve yung mga traits na gusto na nandoon sa isang animal. So, wag ka na lang mag-select kumbaga if ayaw mo rin i-improve. So, yung goal ng selection is to improve these characteristics, to enhance these characteristics. So, dito papasok yung um, heritability of traits. So, you need to take into account yung heritability ng mga traits natin since when we say heritability kasi, you can say it as the measures that to which extent a trait is influenced by genetics as opposed doon sa mga environmental factors. So, um, iba-ibang mga traits, iba-iba din yung parang heritability, yung degree of heritability. Kumbaga, like for example, if it is a reproductive trait na yan, medyo low or mababa yung heritability niya. Okay? So, it is only influenced by genetics by around 5%, and then environment is around 85 to 100%. Sa growth naman, medyo moderate. Yung heritability carcass will also be moderate in heritability. Lactation will also be moderate in heritability. So, ang pinapakita ko lang dito, you also need to take into account when it comes to selecting animals and what traits are you going to improve doon sa heritability nila. Kasi baka ina-expect mo kasi by the succeeding generation na may improve mo na yung trait na yon. So, when it comes to selection and the um, goal of improving yung trait na yun, it is a long process. Okay? Hindi lang siya agad-agad na nagaganap. So, yan. So, traits with high heritability usually are passed more reliably from parents to offspring. Kaya nga siya mataas. So, again, ito yung mga more or less mga body size, growth rate, wool yield. These are traits that are high in heritability na pwedeng mataas yung chance na mamana ng mga offspring. So, they are passed more reliably to the offspring. So, basically, the greater the heritability of a trait, the more effective selection will be. Yun yung punto ko dyan. So, pero hindi naman not to discourage yung mga farmers or kayo na gustong, like for example, i-improve yung reproductive efficiency ng isang animal. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na hindi ko nagagawin kasi mababa yung heritability nito. Hindi ganun dapat yung mindset. Ang eventually in succeeding generations, you will still improve itong trait na to. Ang ano lang nito, medyo mas mahirap because it is lower in heritability compared to the other traits. So, mas effective kasi yung selection if it is greater in heritability kasi nakikita na or mas madaling makita. For instance, yung mga carcass traits natin in meat animals and milk production traits in dairy animals typically have moderate to high heritability. So they are the ones that are effective. These are the traits that you need to look into when it comes to selection. Kasi talagang ito naman talaga yung ini-improve and ito naman talaga yung mga product mo. Like for example sa meat production, the meat naman yung product mo. So you need to look into it. Same goes sa ating milk production. So milk naman yung product mo. So ito naman yung mga production traits na mataas naman talaga yung heritability and they are effective sa selection. So yan, again, that's one principle that you need to look into, the heritability of the traits. Ang laging tatandaan, if mas mataas yung heritability, the greater the heritability, the more effective yung selection. Okay? Next, principle of selection, what you need to look into is yung genetic variation. So, yung genetic diversity kasi or variation within a population, it also provides yung parang guide or the foundation for selection. Ang ibig sabihin kasi nito, you cannot select if everybody is the same.
Yun yung ibig sabihin yan. You cannot select if pare-parehas naman yung traits, pare-parehas naman yung production traits, pare-parehas yung reproductive traits, pare-parehas yung itsura, kumbaga. So, paano ka makakaselect ngayon? Kasi yung purpose ng selection is to select, to choose yung best na mga animals for your breeding. So, paano ka makakaselect if pare-parehas naman sila? So, hindi pwede. So, dyan papasok yung pangalawa, which is genetic variation. You need genetic diversity in order for selection to become effective. So, like for example, yung mga nasa pictures na yan, if you want your animals to have long hair, di yung mga long hair yung i-ano mo. Okay? So, ganun. Selection is only possible if there is variation in the traits of interest. Yun yung sinasabi ko. So, like for example, um, yung milk yield, kumbaga, ng isang cow, or ito na lang, itong nasa pictures na lang. If, like for example, yung meat quality ng isang baboy is pare-parehas lang, di ano pang silbi na magse-select ka. Okay? If yung growth rate ng mga baboy is pare-parehas lang, then ano pang silbi na magse-select ka? Kahit naman magkakaiba yung itsura kumbaga, pero yung trait na gusto mong i-improve is growth rate, wala ring silbi. Okay? So, yan. It is only possible if there is variation. So, importante kasi that you maintain genetic variation. So, especially when it comes to your herd, kailangan ito in order to prevent inbreeding. So, kailangan na meron kang ibang parang breeder coming from different herd, breeder coming from different farm, kumbaga, in order to maintain itong genetic variation and to prevent inbreeding. So, yung inbreeding kasi, it can reduce yung fertility and increases the risk of genetic disorder, which is ayaw mo naman na mangyari. Okay? So, um, gagawin dapat when it comes to genetic variation is that you need to avoid selecting animals that are too genetically similar to prevent the loss of these variations. So, meaning, again, if parehas na um, parehas na yung trait na yon with that of the parents, wala nang variation na magaganap. Okay? Yung offspring, ganun din yung mangyayari doon sa trait. Ganun din yung similar din sa trait doon sa parent. So, wala nang malulos na kumbaga yung variation. So, in order to avoid that, kailangan na wag masyadong mag-select ng animals for breeding that are genetically similar. So, yun yung variation na tinatawag. And that's the second factor that you need to look into. Then the third one is selection differential. Yung selection differential naman, this refers to the difference between the average performance of selected animals compared to the average performance of the entire population. So, basically, ano ba yung difference nila? Yung sinelect mo na animal compared doon sa average ng entire population. So, yung yung pipiliin mo is yung mas greater, mas mataas yung parang difference when it comes to the average of the population. Na na positive, kumbaga. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung iselect mo is yung mas maganda, kumbaga, yung trait. Mas better yung trait compared doon sa average ng population. This, in turn, meaning you are selecting the best within that population. Okay? So, yun yung third factor or principle that you need to look into is yung selection differential. You need to choose the best animal na kumbaga pinakamaganda yung trait compared doon sa average ng population. So, ito yung sinasabi ko, the larger the selection differential, the greater the potential for improvement in the next generation. So, kung titignan kasi dito, like for example, ito yung herd mo, ito yung population mo, yung 1-month-old ng Donobian is kaparehas na ng 2-month-old na native. So, magkikita na mas maganda pa rin yung growth ng isang 1-month-old Anglo-Nubian compared to the native. So, you need to look into the selection differential also. For example, selecting the top 10% of animals for milk yield can significantly increase overall production in a herd. So if you select those that are at the top compared to the average na average of the population, then you can significantly improve yung production mo. Kasi yung na-select mo are those na maganda na yung trait or yung pinakamaganda na yung trait. So, meaning yung mga offspring na maproproduce mo from that is magaganda na din yung trait. Matataas na din yung milk production in this example. So, yun yung principle natin sa selection differential. Then, aside from that, you also need to look into the breeding value of the animal. So, it is the measure of one animal's genetic potential. So, dito na papasok yung mga computations natin when it comes to the breeding value. Pero laging tatandaan lang na when it comes to selecting, kailangan din na itignan mo yung breeding value. Kasi ito yung parang genetic potential ng isang animal. Ang ibig sabihin nito, it actually represents the ability of an individual to pass on yung desirable traits to its offspring. So, kung mas maganda yung breeding value, um, mas mataas yung breeding value, estimated breeding value, then yun dapat yung iselect mo. Okay? Kasi ito yung ability niya, mas mataas yung ability niya na ipapasa niya yung desirable traits na napili mo into its offspring. Kasi wala ring silbi if hindi. Okay? So, yung mga animals kasi with higher estimated breeding values, for specific traits, these are often preferred in selection programs. So, yung pag-calculate kasi ng breeding value, it uses performance data from the animal itself. It also uses yung data from its relative in order to compute for the breeding value. So, again, in selection of animal, in the selection program, mas gusto nila yung mas mataas yung estimated breeding value. Then, aside from yung estimated breeding value, you also need to look into the performance testing or performance ng animal. So, this involves evaluating the animal based on measurable traits such as yung weight gain, yung milk yield, yung feed conversion efficiency, or even reproductive success. So, you need to test the animal. Ito yung parang sure way to look into its sure way to look if talaga bang yung nakikita mo or na-estimate mo or na calculate mo na mga na like for example breeding value niya na estimate mo when it comes to sa performance niya, kailangan na i-test mo siya. Okay? Para makita mo talaga kung ano yung trait na yon or ano yung measurement ng trait na yon. Okay? So, diyan papasok yung performance testing.
So, ang ginagawa naman dito is that you test yung animal under control condition. So, you need to eliminate any factors that may affect yung production, yung performance ng animal. So, you need to um, do this performance testing in a controlled condition in order to um, make sure, or in order to ensure that what you are measuring is because of the animal itself, or the genetic potential of the animal when it comes to those traits, and not because of any other factors such as yung environment. Okay? So, when it comes to performance tests, these are used to identify yung mga superior animals natin for breeding purposes. So, you test them when it comes to, like, for example, growth rate. So, kung sino yung pinakamaganda yung growth rate, yun yung ano mo, yun yung i-consider mo or isa-select mo for breeding. So, in a case of milk production naman, kung sino yung pinaka mataas yung milk yield within a day, then yun yung isa-select mo as breeders mo. Okay? So, usually, again, performance testing is done in order to identify yung mga magaganda na animals na usually yun yung ginagamit mo as breeders. So, aside from performance testing, you also need to take into account yung progeny testing. So, if performance testing usually involves yung animal na isa-select mo, sa progeny testing naman, yung isa-select mo is yung ano naman, performance ng offspring. Hindi mismo yung isa-select mo na animal, kundi yung performance ng mga anak niya. Okay? So, yun, it evaluates the genetic worth of an animal by examining the performance of the offspring. So, pero wag malito when it comes to progeny testing, you are not selecting yung mga anak. Okay? You are not selecting yung mga offspring. You are not selecting the progeny. You are selecting yung parent, kung saan galing yung mga anak. Okay? Pero yung itetest mo or yung i-measure mo, i-observe mo is yung mga anak. Bakit? Kasi if maganda yung anak, yung performance ng anak, kung maganda yung yung pinapakita ng anak, then almost for certain namana niya doon sa kanyang parents. So, yun yung parang yung principle ng progeny testing. So, itong progeny testing natin, it is commonly used in dairy and beef cattle breeding in order to assess traits like milk yield or carcass quality. So, yan. Usually, ginagawa natin yan sa dairy industry natin. Kasi nga, um, almost for certain kasi, if,
Again, low yung heritability ng mga to or medium yung heritability ng mga to. Yung mga production traits ng mga to, it can mean na pwedeng namanan niya talaga dun sa mga parents. Okay, kung maganda. So, aside from that, progeny testing is particularly useful for low heritability traits where direct selection is less effective. Ang ibig sabihin kasi nito, if namana nung offspring or yung progeny, yung like for example reproductive trait na maganda, then it most for certain say na if maganda yung reproductive traits ng offspring, then maganda din yung reproductive trait ng mga parents niya. Okay? So, kung nakita mo na maganda yung reproductive trait ng offspring, na usually hindi mo siya makikita kasi nga low yung heritability trait na yon or hindi mo siya makikita dun sa parent mismo, then um, it is the surest way or it is the most efficient way in order to select animals that you want na yung gusto mong trait is yung mga low yung heritability. So, yan. Then, ang kabaliktaran ng progeny testing is yung pedigree testing naman. So, yung pedigree testing, it involves yung selecting animals based on the performance of their ancestors. Sa progeny testing, it is based on the performance of the offspring. Sa pedigree testing naman, it is based on the performance of the ancestors. So, it is useful in the early stages of life when animals have not yet expressed the traits of interest. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, if you are selecting animals that are too young, na hindi mo pa talaga makikita, like for example, masyado pa siyang bata para makapag-produce ng milk. So, yung titignan mo ngayon, hindi naman pwede yung anak kasi nga bata pa siya. So, yung titignan mo ngayon is yung mga nanay. or yung nanay or tatay or yung ancestor niya. Kung yung ancestors niya is maganda yung milk yield, maganda yung milk performance, maganda yung milk production, it means to say na yung anak din na tinitignan mo is maganda din yung milk production. Okay? So, yan yung pedigree testing natin. Again, it is useful in the early stages of life ng animal when hindi pa na-express yung trait. So, kung kailangan mo na talagang iselect yung animal at that stage of its life and wala kang data pa, so dito papasok yung pedigree testing. And dito ko din i-emphasize yung importance ng mga records. So, hindi mo mape-perform yung pedigree testing if wala kang records ng performance or production data records nung mga ancestors nila. Okay? So hindi mo rin talaga mape-perform yung pedigree testing without any data or records. 'Yun lang. Dapat kailangan na meron kang records. So, by selecting animals from proven families, breeders increases the likelihood of improving the desired traits. So, yun. Ang ibig sabihin niyan lang, when it comes to selecting animals, you look into the ones that are, yung ancestors are the ones na productive, na maganda yung trait, na maganda yung production efficiency, mga ganon, breeding efficiency. So, if maganda yung ancestors, more or less maganda din yung mga anak nila. So, yan yung pedigree testing. And then, I think the last one that you need to, when it comes to the principle of selection, is that you need to select animals that are well suited to their environment. Diyan papasok yung fitness and adaptability. So, if you are from the Philippines and you want to look into breeds that are well suited, then tignan mo. You should not consider looking into Holstein Friesian kasi nga this is a Bos Taurus na na cattle that is only adapted sa mga temperate region. So you need to look into, like for example, mga Zebu that are Bos Indigos and they are well adapted sa mga tropical climate. Mga ganun. So, yan. Animal selected for tropical regions must be resistant to heat stress. Siyempre, kailangan yan. Parasites and disease prevalent in such areas. So, selecting animals based on their adaptability ensures that they will perform well under local environmental conditions. So, syempre, given na yan. Kahit na maganda yung genetic potential ng isang animal, if they are not adaptable to that certain to that certain environmental condition, wala ring mangyayari. Mag-underperform pa din yung animal na yun. Okay? So, wala ring silbi yung selection mo if underperforming yung animal. So, again, yung last principle when it comes to selection is that you need to you need to look into the fitness and adaptability of the animal that you are selecting. Okay? Not only because of its good genetic records, good production records, dapat adaptable din siya doon sa environment na ilalagay mo. Okay? So with that ends our principles of selection. So I hope na you know na yung mga principles of selections natin, kung ano ba yung mga importance ng mga ito. So hindi lang, again, when it comes to selection, hindi lang yung pipili ka lang kung ano yung gusto mo. Kailangan na you need to take into account yung mga principles, mga factors ng selection in order for you to become successful. So again, thank you for listening.